What is up, YouTube? It's been a minute since I made a video. The previous video, if you watched it, takes place probably a week or two, no, more like 3 weeks before this video, because of Christmas break and stuff like that, New Year's and all that stuff, just hanging out with family. So I took a break. I know in my other videos I mentioned that I was going to be doing a couple of things in preparation for Fuel Fest. One of them being dyeing the seats and then doing the interior, fixing the trunk, and major things as far as like painting the car and repainting the wheels. So with that being said, after the winter break, I went ahead and painted the car. I was going to film the process, but being that there are so many videos out there that pretty much show you how to paint the car, I just went ahead and did it anyway, on my own time. It was a bit faster for me to do it because I had to do a bunch of prep, a bunch of removing a lot of the panels, painting them separately, because I painted the car with spray cans. And here is the color. So this is the color that I painted with. It's a hunter green from Rust-Oleum, the 2X paint. I really like using these kind of paints, not just for cars, well, not just for painting my car, but other projects that I would do and stuff, because not only do you get a lot out of the can, but it is a paint and primer, so you don't really have to do much as far as the priming process, which makes it a lot easier. You just buy one can or however many you need and spray it and you're good to go. The only thing that I would suggest painting the primer, using primer, like actual primer for, is if you're trying to like cover up holes or body lines or scratches and stuff, because when you paint the primer you can see what needs to be filled in, what needs to be sanded, and then sand it and then go from there, because of obviously an actual paint is terrible to sand. It's a pain in the butt to try to sand and get it done and everything and smooth it out, whereas primer is primer, so it's super easy to sand and stuff like that. I already painted the car, so I'll go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. Came out really nice, but I will say that I know it's a spray can paint, so don't expect the best results. And I can show you a few spots or instances where it looks a little janky, but I'm gonna go back and fix all that, and I will tell you how. But for now, this is the color of the car, the hunter green. It's not as dark as I thought it would be. It's actually a little bit of a lighter green, you know, almost like a toy green, but that's fine. It's a pretty cool color actually. I really like it. I do plan on doing something else with this color. I guess I'll keep that a secret for until the time comes, but anyway, here it is. Let's check it out and I'll show you exactly the issues and stuff that I came across when painting this. All right, so here it is up close. So right off the bat, it is super dirty. It's been sitting here for a minute and I haven't washed it yet since I painted it. But see, like in spots like this, like on the bumpers especially, and the pieces that I took off, the paint looks fine. But I did remove the hood, I removed the bumper, I removed the fenders, and I painted all this separately. So it was a lot easier for me to paint it by itself, as opposed to having everything connected to the car, as well as the mirrors. I painted these separately too, and you can pretty much see just how good the paint actually came out. Some spots, the only part that I had to really paint all together was the car itself, the frame, the body. But some spots that you can probably see are like right here, where you have this like really dull splotchy effect where it looks almost rough. And then even like right here, you see the striping. This is because I had to go back over and cover it more in this spot. There's some more areas that are like this. Really hard to tell on this color, especially after the paint fully dries and cures. But this is how everything came out. So before I painted it, I actually ended up finishing the bumper like I said I would. I cut it out the center, the whole center section of the C1 lip, and just left the two ends like a kind of like a traditional style lip kit. And then right here, I did get a bit of run. There's one right here, a run right here. You can also see like some spots have more orange peel effect. I think I went too heavy on some spots. Here's some runs right here. You can barely see them. There's a big one right there. Oh, some right here. That's all fine. I mean, I pretty much expected that out of a spray can, especially when you have to get up close. A lot of the pieces came out fine though, a lot of the sections. So here's a finished look on the Z-Tune style pieces. Came out really nice. The only thing I will say though is that I don't know for whatever reason, some parts of the primer or the Bondo took the paint differently. I don't know why. You can see right here, it kind of looks splotchy and this part's smooth. I don't know why that did that, but overall, paint came out pretty nice. Super happy with it for it being a spray can job. Looks super nice. Oh, and I did goof right here. When I was painting the hood, I had the hood propped up on something and it slipped off. Well, actually the wind picked up and pushed the hood off of the piece, the thing that I was leaning on, and it ended up falling and chipping off this paint. So that's whatever. I can always fix that. But here's how it came out. Like I said, super nice dark color. Looks good on the white wheels. And honestly, I'm debating if I should leave the white wheels or if I should repaint the wheels to like a bronze color or maybe like a gold color. I think that might look a bit nicer. I still have the pink calipers. I'm gonna leave those, and I do want to get the pink harnesses. That's another thing on my to-do list. Now I didn't put the canards back on because I was smoothing them down. I was fixing them, tightening them up a bit, and I left the holes there to mount them back. So the canards have to be done and put back on here. I need black paint for that because I finished them up. I just have to paint them over so they can at least be uniform, because right now you can see all the primer and everything. It looks, you know, ugly. Kind of want to wrap them in carbon fiber, to be honest. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe I should, being that I have a carbon fiber piece right here. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for the paint. Came out really nice, at least like I said, for a spray can job. All right, attempt number 2. I have to redo this because for some reason it didn't load right on my computer, and it is not loading right at all. It's been a day. So anyway, I'm going to explain my reasonings for why I spray painted the car. I'll make it brief because I believe the other clip was way too long. So number 1, I didn't have it in my budget. I do not have a air compressor with the right size to paint the car, and I did not have a spray gun that was capable of spraying a professional quality job, and I do not have the budget to buy the 3-stage paint. I could have bought a single stage paint, but it's cheap and it sprays like an enamel, so when you go to buff it, the compound and the pad picks up a lot of the color and the paint in it, so it ends up being more work when it's just easier to sand and buff clear coat. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is I will be tracking the car, and by no means am I professional. So in the event that I ever run off the track, or I run into a wall or get into some kind of accident, you know, that involves any body or paint damage, I don't want to be upset that I ruined an expensive paint job, whether I did it myself or I sent it out to get done. So yeah, I don't want to be upset if I ruin an expensive paint job or a very labor involving paint job, because, you know, all that work for nothing. So at least with the spray cans, if I ruin a bumper or a side skirt or something, or I ding the body, I can fix it, sand it down, and repaint it with the same color, which is like $5 for a can. So that way it's not too bad. It's not too much of an expense in the event that I have to repair something. Another reason is I don't have the time to do it professionally or have it sent out to get done professionally, nor do I have transportation. So I don't have another car in the event that they keep my car for a couple months, whatever, you know, I don't have anything else to drive. Also, I do need it to be done before Fuel Fest. So in order for me to do that, I would have had to spray it here myself. And like I said, I don't have the time to do it professionally, so I don't have the time to sand it down really good and prep it and all that stuff. So at least with the spray can, I can just do the bare minimum for it to look decent and okay, then paint it and just let it be done. Reason number 4 is I don't have the environment, or I don't have the area to spray it at. So I don't have, as you can see, I don't have a closed garage or anything, or a closed carport. That's one reason. And I don't have any kind of garage or anything that I can stuff it in to paint it professionally, you know, because I don't want to, the last thing I want is to prep it like completely, you know, professionally, and prep it, you know, down to the T, and spend so much money on the expensive paint and whatnot, and basically, you know, dump a lot of time and money into it, and then I go to spray paint it out here in the open and it gets completely ruined. because the environment isn't exactly the best. There's dust and ashes and stuff flying everywhere because we live right next to a sugar company. So, you know, they burn the cane and stuff like that, if you guys don't know anything about it. But yeah, so they burn the cane, ashes fly everywhere. There's a lot of wind, picks up a lot of dust from there. There's a lot of trucks and semis going by on the road, flinging dirt and dust everywhere. So that's reason number 4. So those are all my reasonings. 1, don't have the budget for it. 2, in the event that I do create body damage to the car or any sort of panels, I don't want to be upset that it was an expensive job and I'll have to pay a lot of money to get it redone. I don't have the time and I don't have the transportation for if a paint shop decides to take my car in, or if I decide to do it myself professionally, which I do know how to do professionally. My previous car, one of my first Celica, was it my first Celica? My second Celica. No, it wasn't my first Celica. Well, one of my Celicas, I've had 3 total. But one of my Celicas I did paint professionally with the air tank and the spray gun and all that stuff, and the paint, the 3-stage paint. And number 4, I don't have anywhere to spray it. So at least confidently to the point where I know it won't be ruined from, you know, just stupid dust flying around and whatnot. So yeah, so those are my reasonings. That's why I chose to spray paint it with spray cans. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and, you know, sat here through the whole my ranting, whatever. I appreciate it. But if you like the video, like it, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to give me tips, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.